We got a Jauan Jennings update. Cam Inman of the Mercury News asked Kyle Shanahan after practice, is Jauan Jennings' absence purely injury related, or is it also financially related? And Kyle, who doesn't seem to be in the mood to fib on the record, he's keeping it real, which I appreciate, said, you got to ask Jauan. He says it's a calf. We check it out. It looks like a calf. I don't know. It was a very non-committal answer. Sounds like there's a calf injury. He injured it in minicamp, so it's there. And it wasn't bothering him the first few days of training camp when he was, I don't know, trying to show that he was a good player. Maybe he expected the Niners to take care of him. And then all of a sudden, I think it was day 4, the day they were going to put on their pads, day 4, day 5, all of a sudden he was out there for the first half, talking to Ayuk, talking to Saleh. They started doing team drills, and he's gone. So maybe he expected to get his extension, didn't get it. I think Kyle Shanahan kind of acknowledged that there is, the financial aspect is part of this. Richard Sherman the other day said he has a feeling that if and when the Niners take care of Jauan Jennings, that his calf injury will go away and he'll be back on the field that day. It's almost like Richard knows something that we don't. I mean, he was on this team in this locker room. He probably has some phone numbers, the ones that he needs. So it's possible that Jauan Jennings really is holding out, holding in, which is understandable. I mean, Terry McLaurin is, right? Terry McLaurin wants a contract or a trade. They have him on the pup list with some bogus injury. I think the Niners don't want to have a messy, dramatic offseason. And if everyone knew Jauan Jennings were holding out or holding in, then that would be the number one story every day, bigger than whatever happened in camp. And the Niners are trying their best to avoid that. They want to control the narrative always. And the narrative is that they're having a good offseason with good vibes and no distractions. That's what they're trying to manifest. And, with mixed results so far. This is one of them. This is one of the bad outcomes here. But the good news for the Niners is that Ricky Pearsall is stepping up the way a second-year wide receiver can. He's having a better second off season than Brandon Ayuk had. Remember, Brandon Ayuk landed himself in the doghouse his second year because he, kind of was on the verge of a sophomore slump. Ricky Pearsall is not on the verge of a sophomore slump. If he stays healthy, he's on the verge of a breakout season. Then you got Demarcus Robinson, who looks 27, although he's not. He looks really good. So, I don't know. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch. Jordan Watkins looks really good. That's 3. We'll see about Jacob Cowing. Brandon Ayuk's come back eventually. But just between Pearsall, Demarcus Robinson, and Jordan Watkins, those are 3 good wide receivers. You don't really need Jauan Jennings. Even if Jauan Jennings come back, he might be the 3rd receiver on this team behind Pearsall and Robinson. Because Pearsall is clearly more gifted than Jennings. If Pearsall is healthy, he's going to get more targets than Jennings. He's going to get carries. He's going to be the featured guy. And then if Robinson isn't suspended, he's a better fit to play X than Jennings because Jennings can't give you any vertical routes. He can't do anything past 10, 15 yards down the field. This guy can. He averaged 16 yards a catch last year. He's almost as big as Jennings and much faster. So those are your starters on the outside, and Jennings comes back and he's the slot guy again, which is where he fits best. And really the thing about Pearsall is that he's good in the slot too. So I don't know, maybe in the future what you want is DeMarcus and Jordan Watkins on the outside with Pearsall in the slot, Pearsall in motion. It's a little bit more explosive than Jauan Jennings running a 4.75. And if he does have a calf injury, then absolutely not. But I do think it's interesting that he was trying to use his leverage, seems like it, requested a trade, and some young wide receivers are really stepping up. Pearsall, Watkins, and the older DeMarcus Robinson, who looks a lot younger than that. Jordan Rodriguez from The Athletic was here today. Great reporter. She covered the Rams for a long time. Now she's national with them. She said that DeMarcus Robinson looks like Benjamin Button out there. Like he's better now than he looked with the Rams a couple of years ago. That's interesting. He definitely looks like a guy who could have 50 catches this year, DeMarcus Robinson. The interesting thing is, when is Brandon Ayuk going to come back this season? Is he going to regain his starting job? Is he going to look like the Brandon of old without a training camp? Or is he going to get his feet wet this year and really return next year with a full off season and, a full year removed from this injury. I'm guessing that. I think that's why Demarcus Robinson is so important this year, why Jordan Watkins is so important this year, because Ayuk, who knows, and Jennings, maybe he gets traded for Terry McLaurin. I just don't think Jennings is going to get anything. I don't think he's going to get an extension or a raise, because I think the Niners, I think Kyle Shanahan pretty much said it in the first press conference of training camp. He's like, look, if you wanted to avoid all drama, you'd give away all these contracts, and then the drama would be that you ruined your team. And I think he feels that just giving Jauan Jennings a bunch of money because he feels slighted would ruin the team. They don't have a margin for error now. They're paying too much to their quarterback, so they have to be really conscientious. And they could give Jauan Jennings what he wants, which is probably like $18 million a year, or they could probably get the same exact production out of Demarcus Robinson, who's making how much? Demarcus, I'm curious. Was it 9? Robinson, Spotrac. How much you making, Demarcus? Not even that. He's making $4 million a year, Demarcus Robinson. Why give Jauan Jennings $18 million a year when you can get the same production or better out of Demarcus Robinson for $4 million? And he's signed through 2026. Why would you do that? You got Demarcus Robinson, who's dirt cheap. You got Ricky Pearsall, who's on a rookie deal. You got Jordan Watkins on a rookie deal. You got Cowing on a rookie deal. You don't need Jennings that much to pay him. So maybe they trade him. If he's not going to get an extension, if he's going to be a malcontent all year, he's got to go. In fact, the fact that he requested the trade to begin with, the Niners need to start making some of these players' dreams come true. You want to trade? You got it. You want one? You want one? You got it. That's what Sean McVay would do, right? Can you imagine Jauan Jennings trying to get over on Sean McVay and Sean McVay being like, damn, you got us. You got us, man. What do you name your price? Would never happen. He would trade that dude to Tennessee. Trade him to the Titans. Or whatever awful team he could think of. He's from out in Tennessee. Maybe the Niners can trade Jauan Jennings to the Titans, give Cam Ward a security blanket, and be done with it. You think they're bold enough to do it? I don't know. If Ricky keeps balling out, they might. Some supers. Dark Halo 2 times, member for 40 months. Thank you very much, Dark Halo 2 times. He says, what are the top the cap implications for a BA Terry McLaurin swap? All right, let's check out Brandon Ayuk. Cap implication. Let's say they trade him. It would be a post June 1 trade. The Niners would have $8.3 million in dead cap, $1.5 million in cap savings, and I would imagine they'd have a whole lot of dead cap next year. It could be done. It could be done. But the problem is the Niners don't have a lot of cap space next year. You have $14 million. And so maybe if they take on too much dead cap with this move, then they would be over the cap next year. Maybe that's why the Niners aren't making moves. It's because they're going to be over the cap next year if they're not careful. So I don't know. I still think they could make it work. I mean, you can always renegotiate contracts. It's just renegotiating contracts to create cap space. You know what that involves? Paying bonuses, writing checks. And I wonder how many checks the Yorks want to write right now, because it seems like the answer is only if you play soccer, I guess would be the thing. If they were obsessed about football and wanted to make their team as good as it could be, and they gave the coaches and John Lynch a green light, I bet they would go out and get Terry McLaurin, because that would all of a sudden be a game changer. But I think the owners are good the way it is.